Sun through the blinds, you bought me time. Each day you remind me, you're still mine. The door's still open.
Stolen Heaven, Secret Hell, Episode 16, You're Still Mine. Sun through the blinds, you bought me time. Each day you remind me, you're still mine. Every morning that begins is a morning that was purchased, not earned, not automatic, not simply the next thing that happens after sleep. Purchased at a price that was owed by the person waking up and paid by someone else entirely, the one who stepped in when the debt was unpayable and the debtor was in no position to negotiate. Think about what that morning actually represents for someone who has been through the fire of addiction and habitual sin. They were broken when they were bought, not cleaned up first, not reformed first, not given a trial period to demonstrate potential. Broken, enslaved to something that wanted to take them permanently from God, something that was consuming their life and their soul and their future and had no intention of releasing them voluntarily. And into that specific situation, not despite it, but directly into the middle of it, God stepped in and paid the ransom. We were ransomed when we had nothing to offer the one ransoming us. We did not deserve it. We could not earn it. We had, in fact, actively chosen the thing that was enslaving us, reached for it willingly at some point, even if it had since grown beyond our control. And still he came. Still he paid. Still he bought. 1 Peter 1:18-19 makes the cost specific. You were redeemed, not with perishable things such as silver or gold, but with the precious blood of Christ, a lamb without blemish or defect. This is what purchased the morning. Not a transaction of convenience, not a small cost absorbed without difficulty. The blood of the Son of God. That is what your ordinary Tuesday morning cost. That is what the sun through the blinds represents to someone who understands what bought it. And then the second line arrives with its specific and daily character. Each day you remind me, you're still mine. Not once at the moment of redemption and then assumed going forward. Each day. The reminder is daily because the need for it is daily. Because we are forgetful. Because the shame still whispers sometimes. Because the old pull is still present and the old identity, the one defined by the addiction, the one that says, this is simply who you are, still tries to reassert itself in the quiet moments. And every morning, God speaks against it. You're still mine. Paul wrote in Romans 6:16 that we are slaves to whatever we obey, either slaves to sin leading to death or slaves to obedience leading to righteousness. Every human being belongs to something. Every life is oriented around something that defines it and directs it and speaks the loudest into the questions of identity and worth and purpose. The question is never whether we belong to something. The question is what we belong to. Before the redemption, the answer was sin, the addiction, the consuming fire that took and never gave back what it promised. That was the owner. That was the voice speaking the loudest into the questions of identity. This is who you are. This is what you do. This is what you deserve and what you will always return to. And now the voice that speaks loudest is different. You're still mine. Not because of anything accomplished, not because of transformation demonstrated or faithfulness maintained or a sufficient period of sobriety achieved, because God decided, because He wants us, because He looked at the broken and the addicted and the enslaved and chose, not despite what He saw, but knowing fully what He saw, to claim them as His own. This becomes the answer to so many of the struggles that recovery presents. When the identity question comes, who am I really? The person I was in the addiction or the person I am trying to become? The answer is neither. The answer is His. When the shame question comes, am I defined by what I did? The answer is no. You are defined by who claimed you. When the worth question comes, do I matter? Does this fight mean anything? Is there a reason to keep going? The answer is yes, because the one whose opinion of you is the only one that finally matters has staked his claim on you and does not retract it. And here is the most staggering thing about that claim. God staked His glory on it. Not just His compassion, not just His mercy, His glory, His eternal reputation. When He reached into the darkness and claimed the broken and the addicted and the enslaved, He was saying to eternity, look at this one. Watch what I do with someone like this. Let my glory forever shine through what I accomplish in a person that the world had written off and sin had claimed and addiction had consumed. He put His name on the line. He said, this person is mine, and what I do in them and through them will demonstrate who I am forever. This is not a small salvation. This is not a transaction of convenience quickly forgotten. This is God making an eternal statement through the life of someone who had nothing to offer him. Every day that the person in recovery wakes up and chooses the dawn over the darkness, every paper cup morning, every shaking step forward, every falling and starting again, is another day of God's glory being demonstrated in exactly the person He chose to demonstrate it through. The sun through the blinds is purchased grace. The day ahead is claimed territory. The voice that speaks over you in the morning is not the addiction's voice, and not shame's voice, and not the catalog of failures. It is His voice. You're still mine, every morning, without fail, because He decided, because He bought you, because His glory is forever bound up in what He does with someone like you. That is enough to get up for. Reflection. For those in recovery, when you hear the words, "You're still mine," spoken over you by God, what does that do to the shame that tries to define you by what you did? What would it mean to let that claim be louder than every other voice today? For those besides someone in recovery, how do you speak ownership and belonging over someone who still struggles to believe they are worth claiming? What does it look like to echo God's voice in the life of someone who needs to hear it?
I'm not alone. I'm walking free.